Inside these icy chambers, science and hope intertwine, preserving not just bodies, but the possibility of a future where death is no longer the end. Human heads and bodies are preserved in these giant tanks at temperatures around minus 320 degrees Fahrenheit. This week on Full Measure, a half-hour special as we look at the future of human aging and the prospects of breaking the bounds of mortality. How old are you guys, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 58.
And?
I'm 67.
You guys look good. We look at treatment trends to lengthen healthy life.
So the Wellness Clinic, we focus on mostly hormone replacement therapy, but we also focus on anti-aging treatments, but mostly preventative and longevity services.
And research and hope that's even shattering the notion of time. What are your thoughts on the quest for immortality?
Well, I think it's fantastic. I mean, why not? We need to shoot for the moon.
Welcome to Full Measure. I'm Sharyl Attkisson. Today we dive into the frontier of human longevity, where science meets the dream of defying death itself. The medical practice of and research into living longer are surging in popularity, driven by breakthroughs in AI, genomics, and regenerative medicine. From the practical science to science fiction hopes, could immortality itself be closer than we think? Our cover story is Frozen. Step into a world unlike any other.
Good morning.
Hello.
Welcome to Alcor.
Sharyl
Come on in.
Attkisson, thank you.
Yep.
It's a pretty big building.
It's a large building. Yep.
James Arrowwood heads up Alcor Life Extension Foundation, a nonprofit pushing the boundaries of life and death. In one sentence, what would you tell people Alcor is?
Alcor is a scientific research and educational laboratory, essentially. Alcor focuses on the cryopreservation or long-term storage of human remains for various research purposes.
This video shows the so-called member being prepared for freezing upon her legal death. Alcor counts 1,500 living members and more than 250 preserved patients of all ages.
We also have Matherin.
She's three years old?
Matherin about 2.5 years old, so she's the youngest patient at Alcor. You can actually see here, these are called dewars, and these are the giant tanks. They're specially engineered. They cost over $100,000 a piece.
Inside these icy chambers, science and hope intertwine, preserving not just bodies, but the possibility of a future where death is no longer the end. Human heads and bodies are preserved in these giant tanks at temperatures around minus 320 degrees Fahrenheit, using a special cryopreservation fluid to prevent what a layman might call freezer burn.
This is called M22, and I call it liquid gold for its color, but also because it's so expensive. So this one bag is going to be about $3,000 to $5,000.
How many would you put in a person if the whole body's preserved?
Whole body, person my size, probably 15 bags.
For me, this is a return trip. I first visited Alcor when reporting for CNN back in 1992. They're not dead.
Not necessarily. That's the whole thesis of cryonics. There's still some hope for them.
Alcor's leader back then predicted we'd be nearing revival by now. That hasn't happened yet. That's just fine with Arrowwood.
And the aspirational goal always has been, hey, what if this could be used to revive your brain? When I came in to lead Alcor, the focus changed a bit because we need to show what we can do today. That builds credibility.
He says Alcor's research could revolutionize organ transplants and beyond.
And we're looking at things like cancer applications for chemotherapy. We're looking at space travel. We're looking at a number of things now that, like with many aspirational kind of technologies, now they're emerging technologies, and now there's complementary technologies.
Alcor guards the identities of many patients per family wishes, but baseball legend Ted Williams and his 2 children are rumored to rest in these tanks. Even the unnamed hold keys to a sci-fi puzzle.
So James Bedford, he's the first person cryopreserved here at Alcor.
Born in 1893, James Bedford was cryonically preserved in 1967, the first of his kind. He's moved from his original capsule to more modern tech.
But his brain was fully formed about 1915, right? Well, the reason that's significant is because those are the only brain cells that aren't chemically fixated or mummified that exist that we know of that could be used to see post-industrial versus pre-industrial DNA in the brain. So those are pure brain cells.
There's no toxins that we're familiar with today, obviously, plastics and chemicals, yeah.
Right. Vastly important to science, right? Incredibly valuable, and we have it. Ventilation, why? Because we want to keep your brain oxygenated.
Research might be the practical goal, but the allure of immortality lingers. David Katz is not just an aging researcher, he's also a member.
Did what you learn as a student of this influence your desire or your thought that maybe someday this will be possible?
Yeah, I think aging will be cured. It's just a matter of time. And if I don't make it in my lifetime, I'll be preserved. And then when aging is cured and they figure out the engineering problem of bringing people back, hopefully I'll be brought back.
How expensive is the process?
Most people, including myself, fund this with life insurance. If you get the right kind of life insurance, it's about the cost of a funeral. By the time you pay premiums, about $30 to $50K. The cost on paper, if you paid full price, would be $80,000 for neuro, or about $220,000 for whole body.
As for Alcor's youngest,
so we do allow families to come and pay respects, or come and visit, and we actually laser etched, put on a stewer, and so she's here, and they know where to identify her. She died, unfortunately, of brain cancer, and her father was a brain cancer researcher. But he recognized that she might be valuable for science and might be valuable for research. And of course, hopefully someday if there were ever a way to revive her, that would be useful.
Of course, most people aren't freezing themselves. So up next in this half-hour special on Living Longer, the prospect for scientific breakthroughs in our lifetime that could upend everything we've come to learn about the aging process. We continue our examination of man's effort to turn back the clock. As we sit here today, science is rewriting the rules of human longevity, and ordinary people are clamoring for ways to push the boundaries of lifespan beyond what we've long been taught are the limits.
Hi, Liz.
Don and Tammy Hoover are regulars at Bloom Wellness Clinics in Phoenix, Arizona.
How long have you all been coming here?
We were trying to figure that out, maybe 10 years.
Probably at least 10 years.
How old are you guys, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 58.
And
I'm 67.
you guys look good. What are your thoughts about growing older?
Quality of life. Quality of life and how, I mean, as we age, it doesn't get easier. And so as much as we can do to preempt that or to take care of ourselves, be proactive rather than reactive.
So we're going to start the pellet insertion here.
Okay.
Today, nurse practitioner Carly Larson, owner of Bloom Wellness, is inserting under Tammy's skin a rice-sized pellet containing crystallized hormones. The pellet will slowly dissolve for a steady release.
So this is painless procedure, of course, once we get the lidocaine in there. Doesn't take very long.
What is a wellness clinic?
So the wellness clinic, we focus on mostly hormone replacement therapy, but we also focus on anti-aging treatments. So it's a wide range of services, but mostly preventative and longevity services.
Longevity, or a long lifespan, has long been a holy grail. Eternal youth, a constant theme in popular culture.
For that I would give everything. There's nothing in the whole world I would not give. I would give my soul for that.
The picture of Dorian Gray, based on an Oscar Wilde novel, explores the pursuit of immortality through a character that remains young while his portrait ages. The 1985 film Cocoon examines the allure of immortality through a group of seniors in Florida who stumble upon a swimming pool infused with alien life force that restores their youth.
We'll never be sick. We won't get any older, and we won't ever die.
Today, with the over 65 population rapidly approaching 1 billion, the quest to enhance and extend life has stepped out of the movies and permeated mainstream medicine.
Is there a trend toward people looking for what we might call wellness or longevity information?
I definitely think that there's more people on the trend of trying to live longer, be more proactive with their health, things like that.
What are you hearing from them that they're not getting from other doctors?
They're being told that, oh, you're just depressed. That's normal. That's a normal part of aging. So they just kind of wipe it under the table, and they're not really listening to the patient or treating the patient appropriately, to be honest. And that's when they come over here, is because their primary care isn't really listening to them. A lot of them are healthy coming in, and they want to do what they can to live longer, to be their healthiest person.
Leading the charge are visionary scientists whose work is transforming theory into tangible advances. Visionary scientist David Sinclair has popularized supplements that boost levels of a crucial coenzyme, potentially delaying age-related decline. At the Buck Institute for Research on Aging, researcher Eric Verdin explores how metabolic shifts can extend healthy years. Maria Blasco of Spain's National Cancer Research Center focuses on telomeres, a piece of DNA at the end of animal chromosomes, protecting them from degradation. Nir Barzilai, director of the Institute for Aging Research at Albert Einstein College of Medicine, is leading a study testing the diabetes drug metformin as an anti-aging agent. And Vadim Gladyshev at Harvard is investigating rejuvenation by reprogramming or resetting cells without turning them cancerous. As researchers work to crack the code on aging and how to slow or stop it, there's a philosophical and scientific divide. Is aging a natural, programmed part of life, or a treatable condition akin to a disease that can be cured?
I see aging as a kind of great challenge to humanity. It's not something that we have to accept as inevitable.
Antony Choka is an associate professor at Howard University who studies the cell and molecular biology of aging.
Do you see it as an illness, a disease, a common process that could be reversed?
Great question, great question. So I actually call it a meta-disease in the sense that it is the cause behind almost every other disease. So it's like the molecular damage, the DNA mutations, the telomere loss, even the epigenetic changes accumulate over a lifespan and lead to these diverse diseases, but they're all really being caused by aging. So it's like the generative mechanism behind all of them. It's the cause, and the diseases are the effect.
Whatever the theory, advances are arriving at breakneck speed, and there's been an explosion in the practice of medicine surrounding aging and longevity. Choka says he hopes we're on the cusp of virtual immortality.
Do you think in your lifetime we'll be seeing people live to what age? More people living to 120?
I think it's quite possible, yeah. I think we're at actually an incredibly unique time, like maybe a time that only happens once in human history. And that time is where the people alive today could determine whether they live a very long time, potentially, extreme long old age, 1,000 years, for example.
Do you think
so
that's possible that people can live 1,000 years?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I don't think there's any biological law that denies that possibility. But in the past, people dreamed of immortality and the fountain of youth and so on, but it was basically impossible. The science didn't exist. And in the future, I think it will be solved. It will be, say 100 years from now, the aging will be fully understood and potentially fully reversible. So we're kind of in a very unique sliver of time.
Don't go away. Ahead on Full Measure, an inside look at the radical life extension movement and its leader. In an era where advancements in biotechnology, AI, and regenerative medicine are blurring the lines between science fiction and reality, a growing number of people are turning to visionary leaders for guidance on how to live longer, perhaps even forever. These gurus of longevity, from biohackers to futurists, offer not just practical advice, but a philosophical shift, rejecting the idea that aging and death are inevitable. Today, we visit with James Stroll, an anti-death activist whose lifelong passion has positioned him as a central figure in the radical life extension community.
Yes, death sucks, but beyond that is a world of vitality, strength, and abundance like we've never seen before. Wow!
James Stroll is executive director of the Coalition for Radical Life Extension, a nonprofit he co-founded in 2015.
What does radical life extension refer to?
Well, yes, that's a good one. Radical life extension is, we have a certain biological wall, you might say, of being able to live a certain time, approximately 125 biologically, and that's the extent that we know that human beings can live without innovations. Radical life extension is going beyond that, breaking that barrier.
This is the Coalition's flagship event, RADFest, which stands for Revolution Against Aging and Death Festival.
You are invited to learn, connect, get empowered, and celebrate with world-renowned experts in biology, nutrition, artificial intelligence, sociology, gene therapy, and more.
It's billed as the world's largest gathering of its kind, drawing thousands each year to discuss breakthroughs in gene therapy, stem cells, AI integration, and more. It's galvanized a growing global community of scientists, entrepreneurs, and enthusiasts.
RADFest is produced by the Coalition for Radical Life Extension, a non-profit organization whose mission is to bring about worldwide change in how radical life extension is viewed and understood.
Is there a way to quantify how many people are keenly interested in this in terms of numbers when you're talking about doctors and just ordinary people too?
You know, I've traveled all over the world, Cheryl, speaking on this, and I think, from my experience, because of responses we're getting, especially now, there's millions that actually are opening up to this concept.
Some doctors are talking about immortality.
Yes.
The notion that maybe we never die.
Yes.
And I think there are different views of that. Some of it is maybe our consciousness continues to survive in a digital form. Some people are talking about, just us continuing to find innovative ways that keep us from dying. What are your thoughts on the quest for immortality?
Well, I think it's fantastic. I mean, why not? We need to shoot for the moon.
He aims others toward the moon as head of another group he co-founded, People Unlimited.
How long could you live? How well could you live? How much joy could you have? How much passion could you share? How ageless could you feel?
Monthly events at the Scottsdale, Arizona studio showcase cutting-edge longevity science and modalities like blood oxygenation to cleanse pathogens and enhance health.
It's getting clearer and clearer that in the future, people don't die.
You said you started speaking in 1972.
Yes.
You don't mind me saying you don't look that old.
No, I don't.
How old are you?
No, I don't. I'm 76.
Are you deploying methods already?
I am.
His personal anti-death strategies include mental resilience, biohacking therapies like stem cells, exosomes, ozone-infused blood purification, and therapeutic plasma exchange. He incorporates daily breathing exercises, infrared saunas, and pickleball, a sport he notes boosts longevity by engaging underused muscles. As for true immortality, long dismissed as quackery, Stroll says now serious scientists are actually working on it.
What does immortality look like to you? If you could pick or choose a version of that for yourself, what would it be?
Well, ideally, I think, we've always had a kind of we thought of our bodies as something lesser all the time. Something like a vessel I use a term that houses the spirit, and the spirit, when the body dies, the spirit goes on. I'd like to think that our bodies are more than that. The version I would like of immortality is that we can continuously renew and regenerate our human bodies. Sometimes it might mean that we have some innovation we have to have. My version of the excellence of immortality would be able to live in our bodies, continuously renewing ourselves, continuously regenerating and getting better all the time.
Do you sense that that is something within your grasp in your lifetime?
I do. Like I said earlier, there's no guarantees, but that's something I'm going for because I think it's the most the highest level of human existence that we could have, and we as human beings need to change our paradigm. We're constantly going around in circles with the sabotage of ourselves and one another in this world, and I think it will raise the value of human life, and I think it's our true path to peace on this planet.
Stroll warns against obsessing over longevity, saying it should be a motivational pursuit, not all-encompassing and stressful. Practical tips, he says, start the day with gratitude, sunlight exposure, deep breathing, and hydration, while awaiting breakthroughs he predicts will come in the next couple of years. After a break, final tips on living longer. Every day, there's more news on the longevity front. A recent study builds on the notion that staying hydrated is essential, with the suggestion that incorporating coffee and tea into your daily drink intake may help you live longer. The observational study found that a balanced intake of coffee and tea, along with plain water, is associated with a lower risk of death from all causes and therefore longer life. There are also experts who believe the order in which you eat your food matters, though they don't all agree on that order. Vegetables first, protein second, then carbohydrates and drinks last. Or maybe some say it's protein first. As we learn more about living longer and healthier lives, here's hoping you unlock the secret. Coming up next week on Full Measure, the Tennessee Valley Authority is at the center of a David versus Goliath battle happening in the nation's heartland. A recent play to capture farmland and homes for a methane gas plant drew ire from residents and opposition from country music star John Rich.
I mean, it looked like an ATF raid. Showing up on her property, loaded weapons, vests, standing there like this, like big tough guys. And I said, that is the most egregious, un-American, communistic tactic I've ever seen in my life.
A community up in arms and a modern version of the Grapes of Wrath next week on Full Measure. Don't forget to check out my new bestseller, Follow the Science, How Big Pharma Misleads, Obscures, and Prevails. And you can hear more stories on my podcast, Full Measure After Hours. Until next time, we'll be searching for more stories that hold powers accountable. Thanks for watching. I'm Sharyl Attkisson.